Hello everyone, welcome to the new session. In the previous session we have discussed in module 2, that is resource management, ownership cost. Okay. In this class we are going to discuss about the operational cost and maintenance cost. Operational cost. So what do we mean by operational cost? The operating costs of equipment are also called, it is variable cost. Operational cost is also called as variable cost because this cost is depends on several factors such as number of working hours per day. For if you consider 24 hours of a day, how many hours the equipment is effectively working, and what is the working condition, I mean the site area, what is the complexity of the work involved, and what is the skill of the operator, and what is the efficiency of the equipment. So all these factors involved in the operational cost calculations. Okay. So basically operational cost is not a fixed cost, it involves several factors like efficiency of the equipment and number of working hours per day or the complexity of the work involved. Okay. So let us move on to the next one, that is maintenance cost. In the maintenance cost of the equipment, the cost of the maintenance and repairs are usually continuous or largest amount of operating expense. Okay. For the construction equipment, construction operations can subject equipment to consider wear and tear because the maintenance cost of the construction equipment is almost 25% of the equipment purchased cost. Because if you do not do the maintenance properly, the lifespan of the construction equipment may reduce or the efficiency of the equipment may decline. Okay. To just maintain good efficiency of the construction equipment, we need to do regular maintenance of the construction equipment, or we can say continuous repair. Repair means not only if it met with some accident we need to do some repair, but also after continuously working with certain project we need to do certain repair. That means to say, under maintenance we should regularly monitor condition of the tire in the equipment, because if we do not monitor properly the condition of the tire, unexpectedly tire may get failure or puncture may happen. The puncture happened in between the work means again you need to stop the work and get the work, or tire has to be punctured, or it will consume lot of time. Okay. Same way fuel is regularly monitored, right? If you have proper storage of fuel with you for the day, for the completion of the one day work, you should have sufficient quantity of fuel. If not, again the work has to be stopped. Correct. So under maintenance, fuel checking is also one of the major thing. And next is lubricating. Because equipments are mechanically fixed different pieces of equipments, those junctions or joints, lubrication has to be maintained properly. If not, what happens? The wear and tear will occur immediately. Just imagine, for a door, if you do not lubricate properly, the noisy sound will come, right? We can't bear that noise. Just imagine the same way in this equipment, if the joint of the two different pieces or two different elements is not lubricated properly, the efficiency or the damage may occur, efficiency may go down. Okay. To overcome that, we should lubricate it properly. And next is mobilization and demobilization. Mobilization means suppose this equipment is needed to some other site immediately. At that moment we are going to take this equipment from here to the next site. Same way, if the equipment is on the other side and we are going to get that equipment to this particular site, this transportation or this period can be considered as idle period where equipment is not working condition. So that is also affects the working condition. Operator because the efficiency of the operator is involved much in the how to operate that equipment effectively. If we don't know how to operate it properly, again the efficiency will reduce or the damage of the equipment is possible. So better how to take care of the operator which suits the machine. Okay. Under maintenance of equipment, there are two types. Maintenance of equipment, there are two types. One is breakdown maintenance, another one is preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance. What is breakdown maintenance? Suppose you are not properly taken care of the equipment while working, immediately the equipment has got breakdown. That means to say you are unaware of that breakdown. While you are working itself, equipment got stopped. It is not working properly. Immediately it has stopped. Why does it happen? Because you are not taken care of it in the regular period, or we can say once the work is completed, you should take care of that particular equipment, whether it is in good condition or not, some minor problem is happened or not. After completion of each work, you should take proper care of that particular equipment. Then this breakdown maintenance will not come into the picture. Okay. So what is preventive maintenance? Preventive maintenance means you are regularly monitoring the equipment once the project is completed. Once the project is completed, you should take proper care of that particular equipment in such a way that lubricating or tightening the brakes or checking the oil levels, fuel and this tire condition, all these things you should check properly after completion of the every work. Then this preventive maintenance will come into the picture. Let us discuss material management in the module 2, that is resource management. In module 2 resource management, today let us discuss material management. So in the previous class or in this module 2, under resource management, we have already known that first thing was manpower. We have learnt on manpower, and number 2 equipment, that is construction equipment. In manpower, what we have learned, what is the importance of the manpower, how the manpower has to place properly, and what are the wages and how to fix the wages for the different manpowers, correct? So now, and second topic was equipment. Under construction of equipment, what we have learnt was what are the different equipments available and how to calculate the productivity of that equipment. And the third topic is material. Third and the last topic in this resource management is material. We all know without having materials, in the construction industry or any product if you want to develop, without having the raw material, it is not at all possible, right? So what is the material we consider here is basically material as cement, steel, coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, wood or anything extra. Let us consider some tools which will be using those tools to operate these materials. Okay. So without having these materials, if you consider the material cement, steel, coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, and let me write here as water. If we combine these materials, which will give us what? In effective manner or in proper proportion, which will give us concrete. Without having concrete, can we imagine civil engineering field nowadays? No, it is not possible. So without having those raw materials to do a concrete, it is very difficult to understand. It is very difficult to imagine civil engineering field without these materials. So if we know the importance of these materials, or if we know how to manage these materials, definitely we can achieve the success of the project in a stipulated time period. Correct? So let us understand what is the material management. Material management is the management system for planning and controlling all efforts necessary to ensure that the correct quality of the material and the correct quantity of the material are specified in a timely manner, obtained at a reasonable cost and available at the points when it is required. Okay. Hope you are getting my point. The available material or the required material should be of economical and the good quality, and the required quantity of particular material should be present as and when it is required at the particular site to complete that particular activity. So once we understand the importance of these materials, the material management can be defined as the functions or responsible for the coordination of planning, sourcing, purchasing, moving, storing and the distribution from the site to the required place of activity. So how to manage these materials? To manage these materials at site, we should have thorough idea of what materials required for that particular activity. If we know that, we will be ordering that material prior to the work getting starts, or if the material is required for the tomorrow's work, means we will be having that material in our storage yard so that work will not be getting disturbed. So if we have that material in our place as and when we required, we can go and get that material. If not, what happens? If not, obviously because of the lack of material, the work has to stop. Work is stopping means the labor has to sit idle. If we do not give proper work or daily work to the labor, labor will try to move on to the different company or wherever he is going to get the continuous work. If we have such kind of problem at the site, definitely we are not going to finish the project in the stipulated time. What is the function of material management? Functions of material management. Under that, number 1, planning. Number 2, procuring or purchasing. Number 3, storage. Number 4, accounting. Number 5, transportation. Number 6, inventory management. Number computerization. Source or vendor selection. Disposal. So let us go one by one. Under functions of material management, these are the points we should remember or we should be aware of it. So first thing is planning. As we all know, planning means if you want to carry out the next day work or tomorrow's work, we should have proper materials with us, or what is the activity we are going to conduct for the tomorrow's work or next week's work. For that activity, what is the material required, is that material is available with us or not, or to keep that material as ready is coming under planning. And next is procuring. Once the planning is completed or how much requirement of material is needed, once we get to know, the next step is market survey. We need to go into the market. We should preferably search the materials which is locally available. Suppose if we want to construct any project in the Mysore itself, means I should search materials within the Mysore itself. If I go and get that material from the Bangalore, what happens? The material cost might be cheaper, but to transport that material from Bangalore to Mysore will be more. The transportation cost will be more. In terms altogether, the material cost will be considered as more, and such kind of mistakes we should avoid. So in the procurement or purchasing of the material, we should as much as possible try to find the suitable materials in the local vicinity, at least within the some 20 to 30 kilometers of area. And the next one is storage. Once the material has purchased, we should have proper storage unit at the site or where the construction project is going to carry out. In that area, we need to build a storage unit. As and when the material required, we should have the proper storage unit, means we can go and get that material as and when it is required. And next is accounting. Once the material is reached to our store, we should have proper accounting in the ledger. That is, what is the material we purchased and what is the material is using, what is the available material. For that, each and every material we should maintain some account or we should maintain some register, so that we will be knowing for this particular work what is the material consumed. The same way, if we just follow some previous 5 to 6 months or 1 years of record for the same activity, what is the material consumption happened, whether it is a correct or whether it is excess of material consumed. To knowing that, we can have some track on the particular material or the workmanship. If we know that the next work or from the next task or from the next project, we can have proper usage of the material. And once the accounting is done, the next is transportation. Suppose you have a storage unit certain distance in the construction, certain distance from the construction activity, that transportation is also important, because somewhere you have kept the cement bag, from that storage of cement bag you need to place to the required place. That transportation also matters. Or if you want to get the cement or the marble or the any required material from the yard to the activity site, it should not get damaged. If it is damaged, what happens? Again that charge also coming into the picture, and that will be considered as loss in the construction activity. So we should take care of proper transportation facility where the material is stored from that place to the required place where the activity is going to be carried out. Okay. And the next one is inventory management. What is inventory management means? Inventory means what is the available resources other than the used resources. Suppose we have some 100 bags of cement, means some 20 bags is used for today's work, means what is the remaining source or resource available in the storage yard. That 80 bags of cement can be called as inventory or inventory source, or in terms of we can call it as idle material which is available in the storage yard. Okay, that inventory has to be maintained, because if we know the available materials in the store, we can plan for the next procurement, isn't it? For the tomorrow's work, if I have today some material is there in the storage yard, means for the next day or next week's material should be procured in the earlier days itself. Same way we can maintain that inventory management. What is the next thing? Material coding. If you consider a huge project such as some thousands of apartment you are constructing, means, or industrial area you are constructing, means, there some thousands of materials will be available in the storage yard, right? So we should have some proper coding. Coding might be alphanumeric or just a numeric, or it might be a color coding for different materials. Different coding should be there, so that we can easily identify or we can guide the labor easily. Go and get that particular. If we tell that coding, the material procurement is also easy, and the labor is also going to understand which one to get from the storage yard. So material coding will help in that way. What is the computerization means? Computerization, nowadays everything will be having soft copy or storage, because the searching will be easier. Instead of going into the material yard or storage yard, searching for the material, what is the left out material, what is the used material, we could have computerized system, so that what is the material used and what is the available resources with us, we can easily identify. Not only available resources, what is the used resource and for what activity it has been used. All these details will be easily stored with the help of computerization. And next is source or vendor selection. Once we keep on getting certain materials from the same vendor, the vendor may take advantage of us, so that he may demand more value or more money for the same material. Instead of losing the money with the same vendor, we can opt some 4 to 5 vendors or n number of vendors for the same material. If we are facing any problem with that particular vendor, without having idle time, we can go and get the material from the next vendor, or we can get some competitive price from the other vendors. So we need not to wait for the only one vendor for one particular material, if we have some 4 to 5 or different number of vendors. And the final one is disposal. Once the material work is done in the site, or the material wastage is happening at the site, how to dispose it properly, that is also our duty. Not only getting the materials to the site, once the work is completed, that waste, debris or unused material, how to dispose it properly, so that we can use that for the next work or the next construction area. in proper way. To carry out, we should have proper control on disposal of the existing material or the waste of material or the material which is not used at that particular moment. So, with this, the functions of the material management will be finishing. So, with the idea of this, you can easily tell what is the importance of the material management at site, or what are the objectives of the material management. For all these questions, you are in a position to write any answers, isn't it? So, hope you understood this concept, and let us finish the material management topic here. In the next class, let us continue the inventory management, that is the last topic of this module 2, resource management. Thank you.